All right, so today I want to talk to you about something that can save you some unnecessary headaches, save you some time, and also save you some money. I know sometimes we get overwhelmed by the mail that we get, especially if we are getting personal mail and business mail. That's a lot of different pieces of mail coming to the house on a day in and day out basis. Even if you have another box, you still have to deal with that mail at some point. And it's a whole lot of nothing a lot of times. There's a whole lot of people trying to sell you something or invite you to something or something such as that. But it can get overwhelming for sure. It can get into a situation where you're just like, man, this is a whole lot of mail here and I just want to get rid of it somehow. And you might put it into your shred pile, or you might put it into your burn pile. And when you go out and you burn it and shred it, it's a done deal and you start all over again. But it's really important to pay attention to your mail, personal mail and business mail, but particularly mail that comes from the state and the IRS. Because what happens is you may overlook a piece of mail from the IRS. And the IRS may be saying, hey, you owe us $10,000. I've gotten mail like that from the IRS, from the state and from the federal side. But I got it from the state one time that said I owe something like $10,000 and some odd dollars. But of course I opened the mail and read it, found out what was going on, gave it to my CPA, and they took care of it. But if you don't get that mail and read it and make sure that you respond in a timely manner, you can turn a mild situation into a very hot situation. So it will behoove you to make sure that you're always reading your mail. If you need to respond in a certain way, then you do so. A lot of people think that, hey, if I just don't respond, it'll go away. Trust me, it will not go away. It is not going to go away just because you don't respond. It's just a matter of time before you're going to get another letter, and this time it could be demanding that you pay X amount of dollars because you have, seen the letters come in, you've been ignoring them, and now they're like, oh, okay, well, you owe us X amount of dollars. So it turns from, hey, this is something that we need you to take a look at. Maybe you can send us in some documents to prove that this is something that you've already taken care of, or this is not your obligation, and then they'll write it off. But if you don't respond in a timely manner and provide that information, then you could find yourself in a big hole. So make sure you're responding specifically to anything that you see that's an IRS letter, anything that says state of such and such. You always want to make sure that you're opening those letters and responding. Another thing is that sometimes people file unemployment under your company. They say, oh, okay, I was working with Alliance Logistics for X amount of time, and now they're filing an unemployment claim against your company. Now, that person may have never worked with you before. As a matter of fact, each time it's been done with me, the person has never worked with me before. It happened quite often when the pandemic first started, and right in the middle of it. It hasn't happened in a little while now, but usually when you get those types of letters, if you don't respond in a timely manner, then they could start a process to start getting that money from you. So that is something that you definitely want to be on top of. When I got that letter, the first thing that I did was I sent it to my CPA, because they know what's going on with these situations, and it gives some instructions on it, tells you what to do, but I always want to put it in the CPA hand first so I can go based off of his instruction. He did tell me to respond to it. So in response, I let them know that the person had never worked for my company before and that I was a single member LLC. They responded back saying that, hey, thank you for sending the information. This matter is now closed. But if you don't respond, then you could cause yourself some unnecessary pain and have to pay some unnecessary money. So always, always, always respond to your mail. Because not responding does not mean that it's just going to go away. Make sure that you're responding to all of that mail, and that way you stay on top of things. And at least if you respond, you can wait and find out, hey, how are they going to come back and respond? And most times, it's always they come back and say, okay, well, thanks so much for providing the paperwork. This information is now accepted, and we'll resolve this situation. So that's what I wanted to share with you really quick today about your mail. Make sure that you're checking your mail, because if you don't, it could cause you some long-term problems. And if you want to learn more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description to my 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It will give you a look into the freight broker business, let you see how it works, show me in my office moving loads, talking to shippers, talking to carriers. That way you can get an idea of how the business works before you come into it. And if you want to see me in the office using our load board, here's a quick tutorial right here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.